ladies.
Hello.
Hello again,
Hello.
everybody. Welcome to Unleashing Empathetic Conversation.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I heard an echo. I apologize. It was blowing me off. I apologize. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Unleashing Empathetic Conversations. I don't know if you guys heard that, but I just heard an echo, so I just had to figure out what was going on. My name is Liz Dorado. I'm known as the Empathetic Coach and also the owner and founder of Bridge Over Troubled Waters Elite Coaching. I am so excited to be here tonight on our official launch of our show. And I am here with my amazing panel of lovely ladies. I am missing one, but she will be back in a few weeks. She's under the weather at the moment. But let me introduce you to my girls. Jasenia, would you love to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. Hi, sisters. So, I am Yesenia McCarthy out of Long Island in New York. I'm the founder of Her Walk Is, and Her Walk is a faith-based coaching business where we fuel the mindsets of women to really perceive life experiences from the lens of faith. I am a mother of three amazing, beautiful adults, and I'm a realtor, a credit coach. And listen, I'm excited. Get excited. If you're tuning in right now, get excited. Share this with a friend, share this with a sister, share this with a brother. You are in for a treat. I'm honored to be here with Liz Gerardo, the empathetic coach, and these beautiful ladies. I'm so blessed to be here.
Thank you, Jasenia. Thank you so much for that. Irina, next to me on the screen right now.
Hello, everybody. What a pleasure it is to be here with all of you guys. My beautiful ladies, I love you all. I am Irina Floryanovich, and I'm located here in Spokane, Washington. I'm a single mom of two beautiful children. I have a 4-year-old. His name's Adrian, and I have a beautiful 2-year-old. I love her so much. Her name's Athena, and I'm a hardworking mom, working pretty much full time and, you know, just loving the Lord as well.
Awesome, Irina. Thank you so much for introducing yourself. Wendy.
Hello, ladies. Hello, everyone. My name is Wendy. I'm 43 years old. I'm a mother of 5 beautiful daughters. I'm also a single mom. Um, I've been recently became a domestic violence advocate, and I am also a woman of faith, and I'm just honored to be a part of this show and to be a part of this beautiful panel of these beautiful ladies. And I'm just ready to get to know you viewers and connect with the viewers and, you know, be able to have live Q&As with you and interact with you. And I'm ready. Let's go. Let's get this podcast going.
Awesome, Wendy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Christina.
Hello, everyone. I'm Christina. I am the founder of Shaken Nations with Jesus Christ, an online ministry that the Lord has allowed me to start. I am a mom of 3 beautiful and amazing young adults, 2 girls, 1 boy. Goodness, a little bit about the ministry. The Lord did allow me to be able to do it all around the nations already, in Pakistan, Africa, and here in the U.S., and being part of Liz's amazing podcast to be able to share the light and share real life situations and real life moments. I love you, Liz. Thank you for the opportunity. I love the panelists, Irina, Yasana, and Wendy, and Melody. And thank you, everyone, for joining us, and everyone that's watching. We love you as well. And we are super excited to be able to just come and talk about real life situations and help others that maybe are going through domestic violence. I myself have went through that as well. So it's a pleasure to be here and just shake up the world a little bit.
Love it so much. Thank you, ladies, for sharing a little bit about yourselves. And as I mentioned, you guys already know my name is Liz Dorado, right? And I am married 20-some years. He should know, right? But anyhow, I'm now also a mother of 4 amazing, beautiful children. They're all pretty grown, from 14 to 27, and a grandma to 2 amazing, beautiful grandchildren. It is such a blessing to be a grandma. And I love being a grandma. But let me add that thank you. I'm sorry, one of the girls was chatting with me. But let me add that I am also a domestic violence survivor. So we have a lot in common here on this panel. We come from different backgrounds. We come with a lot to share. And like they mentioned, we are sharing real life situations. Each of us have a different background to share with you all. We want to connect with you all today. Again, I'm a survivor and also advocate for domestic violence. Those who know me know that I am constantly putting out there. So that's one of the topics we're going to be discussing, throughout the time that we are here. And like I said, we're here to connect with you today. So we're going to have, it's kind of like a freestyle. We want you to get to know us, ask us anything. That's what today's going to be about. But first and foremost, background about me. So I am also a certified leadership coach, life coach, relationship and marriage coach. Okay, so I am also here available. Anybody want to reach out to me? That's, as you can see, the name of my business there is Bridge Over Troubled Waters Elite Coaching. I'm a John C. Maxwell certified coach. And I also am I work full-time too on my full-time job. So, we all go through life. We all go through different circumstances in life. But in reality, a lot of people sometimes tend to feel alone when they're going through certain things or don't talk to certain people or anybody for that matter. And if I didn't share already, I too am faith-based. If it wasn't for, for Jesus, I wouldn't be here today. Been through so much down the line, but I do want you all to know that, girl, Chain Breaking Ministries. I cannot wait to see what Jesus is going to do. That is so beautiful because he's done so much for each and every one of us already here on this panel. And I know he's done so much for so many of you watching. And this is just the beginning of Unleashing Empathetic Conversations. It's just the start of what's to come. So what he's about to do, I'm sure he knows more than us, but I anticipate it's going to be huge. Huge. I want to acknowledge some of the people that we have here today. So I'm going to go through the chat. And Yaya, thank you for joining us. Love Jesus. Thank you. And thank you so much. She says you all look beautiful. Thank you so much. Alyssa, God bless you. Let's see. I'm going to go from the top. I know I'm probably, I would drop one. I would like to give a nice warm welcome to Mrs. Charlotte Jordan. Hello, Mrs. Jordan. Everybody say hello, Mrs. Jordan. Let's give her one of these days. I'm going to have her on here. I am going to have her on here as a guest speaker. I would love to hear from her. She's back. Empowering Perspectives. How are you? Good evening, sir. Coach, you are awesome. Rebecca Wilson, blessings. Melanie, Princess of God, blessing. Oh, yes, that's our Melanie girl. We miss you, we love you, and we can't wait to see you. Praying that you get well soon. Oh my goodness. Yes, right? How does it go? That's an inside joke. We all do it to each other, right? Oh my gosh. Wow, we have so many of you watching. I'm so blessed to have you all here today. I'm trying to acknowledge you all because I just love to see you all in the chat. I am Jesus. Yes, he will. Yes, thank you. Love Jesus. Yes, she says he's going to do amazing things. So big, ladies. How did you all heal and go through what you all have been through, if you don't mind sharing? Absolutely not. We do not mind sharing. Thank you for that. That's actually a very deep question, because we've all been through so much in so many different ways. And wow.
Can I answer that?
I'm not gonna answer that. I'm gonna let you guys.
Okay, we were all friends online, and God just brought us all together. You know, He basically handpicked each and every one of us to be a part of this podcast, because none of us knew what was going on. None of us knew that Liz posted, you know, I need at least 5 beautiful ladies to hit me up for a project that I'm working on. She didn't really get into specifics on what it was, this project, but you know, she reached out to, you know, reached out to us, and little by little, each and every single one of us just started hitting her in her inbox and was like, look, I'm ready to be a part of whatever it is. No questions. We didn't even know what it was. We were just like, count me in. I know I was, you know, I was like, count me in. I don't care what it is that you're doing. You know, you're my girl, you're my sister, whatever it is that you're doing, I want to be a part of. And so basically, you know, it was like a domino effect that just continued to trigger on down until she got the beautiful 6, and now it's the Fab 5, you know, until our other beautiful sister Melanie comes back. And but yeah, that's basically, you know, how we met. The Lord brought us together, and you know, we give Him all the glory and all the praise, you know, because he is the center of all of our lives. You know, He's the reason why we are here today. So if that helps answer your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. I was actually answering another question, and she went right into the how did you all meet? But that's okay. So let's answer that one first, because the one that Love Jesus did ask is deep. So we're going to get into that one. But let's go ahead and answer how we met. And thank you, Wendy, for sharing that. That's actually pretty cool, because we all are from different places. Wendy is from Massachusetts or Connecticut. Massachusetts. Okay, so she is in Massachusetts. I'm in New York, Long Island, New York. And all the other ladies, they've already told you guys. We have Yesenia, who's from Long Island, New York. Irina is from Washington State, right? Spokane, Washington. We have Miss Christina from Tennessee, right? And we also have our wonderful Melanie. I miss her so much. We have our wonderful Melanie, who is actually not too far. She's in Jersey, but she's originally a New York girl. So yes, we pretty much met by coming together in the ministries, you know, church ministries. And Jasenia and I have known each other for a very long time. We've been here on Facebook. I know a lot of you on our pages know that we've known each other. We talk, we connect online and all of that. But yeah, I simply just put out the post. I was working on this project, and I was looking for ladies willing to join me on this panel to start this show. And I put it out, didn't know what to expect, didn't know who was going to respond. And actually got, when you know when you have like certain people that you would expect to jump in with you, you know, like those friends that you can count on, things like that. It's pretty much how we all live our lives. And then when things, like when push gets to shove, the people that you least expect always show up. And so that's pretty much how this happened. And I always look at that as, you know, the way it's supposed to go. Because to me, I don't believe in accidents or coincidences. I believe in it was meant to be this way. And so that being that I believe that strongly, like I know that the ladies that have joined me on this panel are meant to be a part of my channel, a part of my life, a part of, a part of my panel life. And And so I'm like, it was just amazing. They all reached out to me at different times and said, I'm in. What do I need? And yeah, and that's how we all got together. And believe it or not, they didn't even know. Well, some of them did know each other, but mm, some of them didn't know each other. And it was like we all just connected and became a family. It's amazing, the way things work, honestly, and the way God works. But I'm so blessed to have them because, oh my goodness, some of us are like triplets. We finish each other's sentences. It's crazy. Jasenia, do you want to share on that a little bit, or you're good?
I can, if you'd like, just to
Absolutely.
piggyback off of you. Liz and I know each other a very long time. I actually went to school with her sister. We've lived in Long Island, I think, for the same amount of time. We grew up over here, and we've always supported one another. She's always supported my business. She shared things for me. We always stayed connected. We've had different phone calls on different occasions where she had questions about stuff. When I saw her post very late at night, one Friday night, and I immediately messaged her and I said, what is it that you're doing and how can I participate? And that's how that came to be. And that's how I met all of these beautiful women. I had no clue who they were. I never knew them before this. So it is divine when God brings people together. Absolutely is a divine connection. That's it.
Thank you, Jasenia. That I couldn't have said it any better. She really, she laid it out. And I just want to give you guys an opportunity to also share if there's anything you want to share on how we all met, Irina. Because you know what, when we met, we all kind of had our own experiences, not for nothing. So if they want to share, Irina, Christina, either one of you want to share, and we will get to that next question from Love Jesus. I haven't forgotten you. Christina?
Irina, do you want to go? You may go. Okay, I'll be quick. The same. I agree. I was scrolling Facebook and Liz's message came up. I did not really know her. Like I said, we did get connected with different churches online, but we didn't really personally know each other. But I just felt led to message her. And of course, she messaged me back. And we just kind of hit it off. And of course, once everything came into place of what was going on, I was like, of course, God is good. Let's do this. And so it's been, I can honestly say, a true sisterhood, like something that has been amazing that the Lord has brought all of us women together from around the world with similar backgrounds, with similar things, and it's been a true blessing. So it's great. God is good.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Irina?
Alrighty, so I was part of the Breakers community. It lasted for like, what, 6 weeks? And I'm pretty sure you guys were all in that group as well. Well, I met Wendy through there and we become best friends. We talk every single day. And through Wendy, she has mentioned you, Liz. And so I immediately friend requested you because I know, we could have connected in somehow, some way. And so one day I was just scrolling through Facebook and saw your post, who wants to be a part of what I'm doing, this show. So I thought, that was a divine appointment. That was, something that I just couldn't scroll past. Because I know in my life, like, I've always, wanted to help other women out by what I went through. So I thought that was such a beautiful opportunity, and that was one of the open doors that, God opened for each and every one of us. So I'm definitely excited to see where the Lord is going to take us and excited to be on this journey.
I've got to say that gave me chills. It really did. I did not know that, and it's not bad. It's not bad because I know that Wendy shared good stuff. So I didn't know that she had already known me through Wendy. And when she friend requested me, obviously wanted to get to know me more, right? And here we are. And it's so true. Like that really did give me the chills, because I know a little bit about her. at this point, and I know exactly what she's talking about. When you live a life of domestic violence, the reality of the deepest, darkest places of that area. And so it becomes your passion to want to help others get out and get them situated, like open up their eyes. And sometimes they're just so stuck, you know. It's not something that we can judge, but that's for another topic and we will get there. I would like to answer Love Jesus's question. Jesus is going to do something so big, ladies. How did you heal and go through what you've all been through, if you don't mind sharing? And I don't mind sharing. That's what we're here for. Unleashing, right? And I'm emphasizing unleashing because that's what this is about. We are about to unleash the empathetic conversations that are so important to have, and that many people don't speak of. But this will give you the floor to speak on it and to ask questions and all of that. For me, man, and I was just talking about it. That's part of my story. Domestic violence is part of my story. I could have been 6 feet under today, but here I am, right? And everything that I have been through, and I have been through some turmoil, let me tell you. I mean, where days were so dark, I didn't know if I was, gonna make it to the end of the day. We all go through things. And so I leaned on, there were times that and when you go through hard times, you tend to isolate, Yes, sometimes you get so desperate that you start reaching out to certain people, and then you become kind of like you start to feel guilty for bombarding people with your problems because everybody has their own. And so I decided, I don't want to keep on reaching out. So what do? I shut down and I just start isolating. And I didn't, want to speak to anybody. I just leaned on God. At the end of the day, it was me and God. And when I had nobody, or when I thought I had nobody, it was me and God. It was just worship, which is what brought soothing peace to my soul. And I know many don't understand that, but you have to experience it to know it. But it really brought me peace to just be in worship and feel that love of God. And feeling, oh, I miss you, Melanie, too. That feeling, that love of God in my heart, in my soul, and, just knowing that whether I was okay or not, I was okay because I had Him, man. It was leaning on Him and just trusting Him to take over, to be there for me, to pick me up. I mean, and you guys don't even know the stories, I'm just trying to answer lightly because if I go into the story, we'll be here forever and we don't have all that time right now. But as the weeks go by, you're going to learn more about us, and maybe we can do, I'm gonna consider that, doing a little bit of maybe a little series on getting to know us a little bit, if you guys would like that, because we all do come from a background, deep backgrounds and lots of things. And oh, awesome, Rebecca. We will definitely touch on that. Feel free to reach out. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna hand it over, and you guys will hear more about me at another time, but I'm gonna go ahead and hand it over but yes, Jesus was my coach. Jesus was my, the one who got me out. And I'm gonna transfer it over to Yesenia and let her share a little bit. Yeah.
Absolutely. We're unleashing today, right? And we want to make sure that we reach people sometimes where they are and where we believe that they're going. There's so many stories I could share about where I was hurting and what I turned to when I was hurting for healing, right? And long before I experienced a life with, with God. And I know you hear a lot of us talking about our faith and how much we love God. The truth of the matter is that we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Him. When I was in my 20s, by the time I was 23, I was already a mother of 3. So you can imagine the amount of stress a young woman, 3 kids, not married, never married their father, went through a lot. And it's not a pity party, because I believe we all make emotional decisions in seasons of our lives, and we make them blindly. And it puts us in circumstances sometimes that we put ourselves in. What I could say is that the hands of God was always on me. And I'm saying this because there's one story I'm going to share with you. I was a heavy drinker when I was in my 20s. Not like a nasty drunk, but I drank while I worked. I drank every time I got home. There wasn't a day that Yesenia was not drinking. I was always intoxicated. I needed the alcohol. It was one of the things that kept me grounded. One night, and I was a big partier. I was the last one dancing. If anyone's watching, if my sister's watching, they'll testify to it. I was the last one where they were like, we got to go. This club's about to close, right? There was this one night that I'll share with you. And I share this story often because when I think back now, God's hand was so heavy on me, and I never realized it until I gave my life to him. I was driving back from a club that I was at in the city. I dropped off 2 friends, I believe, somewhere in the boroughs, Brooklyn, Queens. As I was headed back home into the Long Island area, I fell asleep behind the wheel. I was so drunk, y'all. I should not have been driving, right? I fell asleep behind the wheel. I woke up to my car facing, if anyone knows Southern State Parkway, my car was facing the border that divides Southern State Parkway goes east and west, I think, or north and south. My foot was on the brake. I don't know how long I was sleeping. All I know is that I woke up, no accident, nothing happened, except the fact that my car was facing the wall. It wasn't facing the direction of driving. And I remember my heart racing, and I woke up and I go, what is going on here? I put my window down, I turned the music up, I put a piece of gum in my mouth, and I remember then saying, God, just get me home safe. That was it. And I gained enough strength to get home safe. And, it's something when you go through that way. And then I could remember going through my divorce. We're fast forwarding now, right? I'm in my late 30s. And my go through for my divorce was so different. My separation, when my ex-husband decided he didn't want to be married anymore in 2017, literally abandoned all responsibilities. And when I tell you my turn to method was so different, I'm telling you, from prayer closet to reading my word, and it wasn't easy. I'm not telling you it was easy. It was hard. I cried in the shower. I cried on my way to work. I cried on my way back home. But there was a peace on the inside that really cannot be explained. I often say faith cannot be explained, but it absolutely can be demonstrated. And it was demonstrated in me by my ability to get up every single day when there was no get up in me. I got up. I kept going. There were people that were concerned about me and said, do you need a break? Do you need time off? Are you sure you're okay? And I was okay because while it seemed that I was going through something very traumatic, because it was, if anyone's ever experienced separation, divorce is literally like a death. They didn't know behind the scene. One, I was sharing it with people that I knew would pray for me and not coddle me, in a sense. We do want the support. We want the love. But when you're a true person of faith, you know to turn to who's going to lift you higher, who's going to go before God on your behalf. Because that's what I needed. Anytime I shared with anyone, I said, I need you to pray for my strength. I need you to pray that God give me wisdom. I can't miss the mark. I have children. So I kept going. So the go through is different. That's what I can say. My go through when I was before Christ, I'm being very honest, it was alcohol. After Christ, it was my word, prayer, mentorship, connecting with the right people. And there's nothing like it. It's unmatched. It's unmatched. That's my part, Liz.
Wow. That testimony there. And you see, like, that's just one story. But there's 5, 6 when she comes back. But we all have a story that is impactful. And you know what we all have in common in those stories is who got us out, how we made it out, who protected us. When his hand is on you, his hand is on you, right? And let me tell you, I haven't even shared a little bit of mine. So I'm just letting them share. Y'all will get to know me. Irina, and I know that we have another half hour to go. That's just one of the stories. So I don't want to we could take up all this time giving stories, but let's answer some more questions because I think I saw some more questions in the chat. Let me see what we saw here. Somebody asked another question. I don't want to dismiss that one. Was that just it? Oh, what are the topics that we will all be discussing? Okay, so as far as the topics go, we're just going to be open, transparent. We're going to be discussing topics of all kinds, all real life situations, from food to relationships, marriage, parenting, childhood or trauma, or domestic violence, as I mentioned. It's an, I want to say, free for all. So we're going to be discussing everything pretty much, and anything. We're very open to that.
Yep. Life situations is what we're going to be discussing. Living life in general, things that happen in your everyday commute to work, just random things that, that happen in an everyday life is the things that we are going to be talking about, because,
that if you guys in the chats, if anybody actually wants us to address something, we are here for you. If you guys want us to discuss a certain topic, let's do it. I'll take suggestions. We'll all take suggestions. If you want to hear about something about any one of us, because you know what, we're all different. We all have a different background, different personalities, and at the end of the day, we all connect with different people differently, right? So you're going to connect with one of us differently, one of us more than the other. So if there's somebody that you want to hear from more than another, or you want to hear about, or you want, we're open, and yes, so our this platform, that's what it's about. It's going to be about open, honest, transparent communication. We're also going to discuss communication. That's going to be a topic. So share, and ask away. Chain Breaking Ministries is asking, how do you overcome the lies of the enemy and walk into your God-ordained purpose in spite of the fight that comes with the call, standing firm on Jesus? Wow. What a great question. And I should have expected one like that. That's a really great question. Let me tell you. All right. I'm just going to share briefly because I like to just share a little and then give it to somebody else on the platform. So my brief on that is, since I was very little girl, I've had a very unique, odd relationship with the supernatural, I want to say. And I'm going to say the supernatural because if there's a God, there's a devil, it was all because I had a dream that I was sitting on a cross and I was really high on that cross. And I just started singing and worshiping and just singing a beautiful, soft, beautiful song, whatever. And there were so many angels at the bottom and, everybody worshiping, whatever. That dream when I was a little girl put me on a whole nother level for the rest of my life. And I mean, for the rest of my life, I've never been the same since that dream. And I was just a little girl, probably about 6 or 7, My life just took a turn. I was the same way I'm having an open conversation with you, I was having an open conversation with God. I was having an open conversation with the devil. Like that was just how I, as a child, not understanding what I was doing, I just started to believe. And so from then on, I've always carried my life believing in the supernatural and knowing that regardless of anything that I was going through, I was always okay. You know, even when I didn't feel okay, even when I felt at the end of my rope, it was just knowing that regardless of what I went through in life, God had a purpose. And I'm not one to ever I think that just changed. And I'm just speaking for myself because again, this is me, but there are other people on this panel that can give you their point. And I'm going to pass it on to somebody in just a moment. But for me, I just don't I it's hard for me to explain because I live a life of knowing that there's no coincidence. There's no such thing as chance. And again, this is just me. You may believe differently, but to me, no coincidence, no such thing as chance, accidents. I don't believe in those things. I believe in that we're here in this life and we are purposely here, you know, and we everything that we do happen and everything that happens to us, everything that we do and everything that happens to us comes with a purpose behind it, you know. And I don't regret anything that I've ever gone through in my life because I feel like that is why I am who I am today. I am a fighter and I am resilient, relentless, and I don't give up. And that's another thing that I just never believe in giving up. I just don't even use that in my vocabulary and I don't give it power because I don't believe in it. So for me, how I've overcome the lies of the enemy is knowing from a very young age who the enemy is and who God is. And while there were times in my weakest moments that I felt like the enemy has power too, because he does, right? And while there were times that I felt that, I always believed and I always knew that God's power is far beyond more powerful than the enemy. So I started to lose fear. And I don't believe in, not that I don't believe in, I don't fear the enemy. I don't fear him. I just don't. And I don't understand fearing him because my higher power is bigger, stronger, better, and my walk is going to happen whether the devil wants it or not. It's just God's got me covered. And one small example before I pass it on, and then I'm going to pass it on. Once upon a time, I walked into and we all have a past, understand that, right? So I'm not perfect. I'm a human being still. And I've sinned and, you know, I have fallen short many times in my life. So once upon a time, I walk into a psychic, spiritual psychic, whatever, this weird guy, and not too far from where I live. And I was there with my best friend. And so I walk in and she walks in. When I walk in, that man said, I can't. I can't. You have to tell her to leave. He told my friend, tell her to leave. There's something covering her. I can't. She's got to go. And then just tell her to leave. I can't do nothing for her. I can't touch her. That's exactly what that man said to my friend. And my friend was like, Liz, you got to go. But he was able to work on her and do what he had to do. And not that God doesn't love her, because he sure does. But it's recognizing your walk, recognizing who you're giving your power to. What you speak, how you live, all of those things hold power in your life. I'm a big believer in mindset. And my mindset is a Jesus mindset. So I've always been that way. Even when I've sinned, And I have sinned, obviously. I'm a sinner. I'm not a sinner. I'm a I'm a human being living in a sinner's world. So that is how I've overcome. Believe. I'm going to allow. We don't have much time left, and I do apologize. I guess I took more time than I needed, and maybe we can make a note of those questions and have and continue and maybe answer some more. Next week. I was going to hand it off, but yeah, let me hand it off. Let me hand it off. Wendy, if I'm going to hand it off to you to answer how you overcome the lies of the enemy. If you can and briefly, can we hear you? We can't hear you.
If you don't mind, I think Irina had wanted to answer that question when you originally, because she was like, I was watching her on camera and she was like, so wanting to answer that. So I'm going to pass the mic over to her because I know she has something good up her sleeve right now. So I'm going to pass the mic to you, honey. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Irina. I'm like, I got all four of your faces here, and I'm like trying to look at everybody. But go ahead and share.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Wendy. I appreciate you. Oh, this question is a great question. So, overcoming the lies of the enemy. Number one is you gotta know who the enemy is and what he has come to do, which is steal, kill, and destroy all of those things. So when he does those things, it starts off with something little. You see, he tries to deceive your mind. He starts to plant one thought, and then another thought, and then another thought. So those thoughts can be, what, I'm not good enough. There's no purpose for me. I'm a failure. I'm not worth it. And those lies, as soon as you start reading the Word of God, it'll tell you exactly. For God so loved the world that he gave us his only Son, that whoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. And so when you take a grasp of that, you start understanding that our God loves us so much that he himself came down and died for us. That is the most beautiful kind of love story. A God that will die for his friend. And so once you start believing in that love, that God loves you, the same spirit that rose Jesus from the grave lives inside us. So that spirit is so powerful that when you acknowledge that, nothing will shake you nor break you. And so every time you do what the Lord has called you to do, there's always going to be some sort of resistance. What do you do when there's resistance? Well, you go onto that wave, you become a surfer, and you ride the wave. Don't let the enemy win. He is a liar. Don't give him a time of day. You have that authority to trample on the serpent's neck. So take back that control, take back that authority that you have in Jesus, and don't give the devil the time of day. He might have some power, like Liz said, he might have some power, but we got the Lord that lives inside of us, and he's got all power. Come on, somebody.
Woo! Oh my gosh. Amen to that. Seriously. Tonight was a night to connect with all of you. It was a night. Oh, Mrs. Jordan, I love you, and I don't even know you, but I love you. I know your son, so I love you. And and your son is such a great friend. And I met him at the John Maxwell conference in August. And look at God work, amazing. But I do want to share. I need her. Okay, sorry. What are some of the challenges? I'm trying to get to the questions, but I just wanted to say that this was not in our plans tonight. It was about connecting with you. But you see, God's plans are always bigger than ours and so much better. What are some of the challenges that you had to overcome when you became intentional about your spiritual walk? Temptations is a part of life. You guys know that song? I know it's a pretty song, but that is a part of life, right? Somebody who has barely spoken tonight, I want her to answer this question, Christina.
Okay. Well, I mean, you started it out great. Temptation. That's a big one. That's a good one. I could feed off of that one all night. I think we all have temptations, even Christians, even when you do come to the Lord, you still have temptations that will come your way. I think the closer you are with the Lord, the better and easier it gets to fight the temptations. You know, between temptations and between spiritual warfare, when you go to walk the walk and talk the talk, it's not going to be cherries and peaches all day long, because the enemy doesn't like you because you've stepped onto his territory. We would love to say that, hey, we're following God, everything's going to be great and we're good to go. But the spiritual warfare is real. And I believe that does attack. And the biggest way is to stay prayed up and fasting when it comes to be able to truly grow closer to the Lord, to be able to fight that. Because I do believe for me, that was a probably big challenge for me, was to truly gain the knowledge, wisdom, and get closer to the Lord, to be able to fight the temptations, to be able to fight the lies of the enemy. As Irina was talking about, your mind, like, oh my gosh, you talk about a challenge, your mind is a challenge. And you have to know how to get it under control. You have to know how to believe what God says about you. I always give my girls a demonstration, if you can see, and you got your shoulders, and of course we all know the angel and the devil on our shoulders. And that's something I've always told them. You've got, the angel, and then you got the devil. And it's like, and of course I always tell my girls, you got God, but at the end of the day, who are you going to listen to, or who are you listening to more? And if you're constantly listening to that negativity coming your way, that you're worthless, that you can't do this, that you can't do that God can't use you because you've done really bad stuff, then all that comes in and starts attacking you. And then your body hurts, your mind gets messed up. You don't want to do anything. So you have to learn to listen to what God says, that you are loved, that you are beautiful, that you are somebody, that just because something happened to you, I'm going to lift you up out of that to be a light to others. Just like us ladies, we could have stayed down in the dump when those challenges came. We could have rolled over and said, okay, I'm defeated. But no, we chose to live in our word, to pray, to fast, to turn to the Lord, to get us out of that hole. So like I tell my kids, you going to stay in that pit, or you going to get up? You're going to let the Lord lift you up out of that pit. So to me, a lot, like I said, was the challenge of temptation, the challenge of your mind, and the challenges spiritually. So hope that helped.
Yes, very, very, very awesome response, Christina. Thank you. And, we have these conversations, and I've heard many people have those conversations. And, when people talk about, even in our normal everyday lives, we talk about being intentional about everything that we do, right? Even in your spiritual walk, it's so important to be intentional. We all get caught up in the should I, or, all those things. But how bad do you want it, and all of that? And, there's so much going on in this world that we tend to get caught up and, allow the anxiety and the fear and all of those things sometimes take over. But it's super important to remember, who's your daddy? You know, I had to end it that way, but because at the end of the day, we know who our daddy is, and our daddy's gonna protect us through thick and thin. Okay, we are okay because our daddy's bad, and I am so honored to be his daughter. I am a child of God. So that being said, I hate to cut it. I want to get to all of your questions. If we didn't get to any of your questions, please bring them back next week. We will be here again next week. I want to open. We allow. We have like 7 minutes. Yeah, I think that's where it's not officially, over. I didn't want to take up too much time, but yeah, that was a really, really good question, and I really do appreciate you asking that. It's so important to realize that. But chain breaking ministry, honey, I know exactly who you are. I thought I didn't know, but I just realized who you were, and it's so nice to have you here.
Liz, can I jump in here real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome, awesome. I wanted to shout out, I know that there are some viewers, but I specifically saw one of my business partners. She is a sister of mine. I would love to see another comment of hers. Mimi, thank you for tuning in. Tune in faithfully every Saturday, 7 p.m., sis. You are going to be blessed beyond what you can even imagine. So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. I love you so much.
How sweet. I love that. That's one thing. You're welcome. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of love and sound mind.
Amen.
Amen. Wendy, you got something to share, honey?
Yes, absolutely. I just wanted to share with everyone real quick that, yes, we are all, come from different backgrounds and different places, but at the same time, we all went through different experiences, different battles and struggles within our lives. But at the end of the day and at the end of our chapter of our books, we all had the same ending. And that ending was Jesus. That ending was God coming to him and him being that knight in shining armor that's rescued us from the pits that we were headed to. So I just wanted to, put that into light and let that be known that, even though we're all different and we all come from different backgrounds, but we all had that same goal, that same mindset, that same trusting factor, and that was Jesus, and he's the reason for everything. We put him in the center of everything. And when we do that, when you do that and you put God first and you put Jesus first, he becomes that light, that light that shines in the dark, and he helps you get forward. There is no going backwards when you have Jesus in your life. There is no sinking when Jesus is in control. And I just really wanted to share that with our viewers, just so they could understand, the love that we have for the Father and the love that he gives back to us. When a person has God and loves God, it shows right through them, and you'll see that with each and every one of these beautiful ladies up here. You'll see the beautifulness of God as they're speaking and telling their stories. As the more you get to know each and every one of us, you'll see, God shining through. And I just really wanted to share that before we close our segment for tonight. And I'm so glad that all of you tuned in. Those that are watching, come back next Saturday. It's just going to get better from here on out. Thank you all, and God bless.
Absolutely. Yes. And see, tonight, Chain Breaking Ministry says ending is Jesus. We all started with Jesus. Ending of our suffering is with Jesus. And so, Alpha and Omega. You've all been saying it in the chat and in here all night. And I want to say that, like I said before, this was an unplanned encounter. Okay? It was, when I said I did not feel like adding a topic tonight. I didn't want to. It was our first show, and I thought it was most important to connect with the audience today. But apparently, Jesus wanted to connect with you too, because he had his way, not mine. Even though I didn't do the topic like I didn't want to, I wanted to connect with you. We all wanted to share our stories and, you know, a little bit about ourselves with you so you could get to know us. You know, we did that by answering questions. We did a little bit of that. But, you know, it seems that when he wants in, he wants in. If you don't understand that, you know, we're here to answer that, right? So every Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, and for my peeps in South Africa, that's at, I believe, 2 a.m. Central Africa time. We're here and looking forward to seeing you every single week. I will say this. I appreciate having you all here. I appreciate you all engaging and asking questions. You know, this is what we're here for. What we do this for you. And the Lord showed up too and said, hey, I'm here. What's up? You know, so get to know me. Look how I work. Just like that.
It was a divine appointment.
It sure was. It sure was a very divine appointment. So thank you again. It was such a pleasure to be here tonight. We will see you again next week on Unleashing Empathetic Conversations. We love you. Jesus loves you. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.